Greetings and welcome to another impressions video here at Words About Games, and today we're going to be looking at Shantae and the Seven Sirens. Shantae and the Seven Sirens is a 2D platformer with Metroidvania-like exploration elements that sends the titular protagonist on a supposed vacation to a tropical island. Shantae and her friends have come to the island to relax, and so that Shantae can perform in a festival with a group of other half-genies. But when the power goes out during their first performance and the other half-genies disappear, Shantae must explore the depths of the island to find out what happened to her new friends and save them. Shantae and the Seven Sirens is a solid platformer, the likes of which I'm sure we've all played dozens of times before. That's not to say that that's a bad thing. Seven Sirens is a really enjoyable game. I'm just mentioning that it treads some fairly worn ground, because that's the quickest way to let you know the kind of game you're getting into. You explore an island that's split into different sections, slowly unlocking new abilities as you play that let you make progress in a different area and also allow you to solve previously unsolvable puzzles or reach previously unreachable places in areas you've already explored. It's always a satisfying gameplay loop, making note of the upgrade or passage that you clearly can't get to yet, then coming back later once you've unlocked the relevant ability. The island and the caverns and passageways below it are fairly compact and easy to quickly navigate between, meaning that backtracking is a breeze, especially with the fast travel stations scattered throughout the map and shortcuts that link the different areas together, once you have the right ability to make use of them, of course. These powers come in the form of fusion magic. As you rescue each of the captured half-genies, they'll use fusion stones to share their magic with you, which unlocks new ways to explore and interact with the world. One might give you the ability to turn into a newt, which lets you dash through midair and stick to walls, allowing you to jump further and climb to reach what was previously out of reach. Other times you'll unlock new belly dancers, which afford you special powers that usually have a variety of different effects on the world around you. The refresh dance, for example, can be used to heal Shantae a portion of her health bar, bring dying plants back to life, which usually rewards you with an item for your trouble, or even refresh NPCs to help you continue your adventure. The more creative you get with these dances, the more interesting interactions you're likely to uncover. These aren't your only avenues for upgrading Shantae either. Defeated monsters will occasionally drop monster cards, collectible cards that you can equip for a variety of effects, such as faster crawling speed or the ability to convert red gems into health by attacking them. Picking up and using these monster cards allows you to customize Shantae somewhat to fit your playstyle, either augmenting your strengths or attempting to shore up your weaknesses. You're also able to buy upgrades from the item shops you'll find at the island's various towns. Alongside your standard potions for refilling health and magic, you'll find things like shampoo that increases your attack power. Shantae attacks enemies by whipping them with her hair, or unlocking and equipping new magical attacks, like a fireball or a spiked ball that circles Shantae and deals damage to anything around her. It took me a long time to figure this out, however, as Shantae and the Seven Sirens doesn't really give you much of a tutorial on how to play it and what anything does. Seven Sirens is the 5th game in the series, but my first time playing a Shantae game, and it feels like the game assumes a level of knowledge from having played past entries in the series. Things like buying upgrades from the shop, how to equip and use magic attacks, and more aren't readily apparent without some experimentation. It's not a massive problem, but it was frustrating to realise that I could spend my gems on more than just potions, only to then have to fool around in menus and push buttons randomly trying to figure out how to throw the fireball I wasn't sure that I'd managed to equip. The combat itself is fine. It's not bad, nor is it particularly excellent. Figuring out how to deal with the variety of enemies the game throws at you is neat. Each of them are pretty distinctive from one another, both in terms of their design and how they behave and attack, though later levels do feature tougher reskins of previously encountered monsters. Boss fights, however, are underwhelming, featuring mechanics that seem cool on paper, but aren't particularly well executed. One boss I fought was out of reach for the majority of the fight, only landing on the battlefield for a few seconds at a time. The rest of the time they were attacking from far away, and then I spent the majority of the time dodging or standing around waiting to see what move they'd unleash next. It was dull as opposed to engaging, and really drawn out thanks to my being unable to attack them for the majority of the encounter. While these boss fights are kind of frustrating in the moment, it is easy to power through them. You get so many healing items, both from the food you pick up and the potions available for purchase, that you can tank your way through bosses without too much hassle. There was one boss where I found it was better to take damage from one of their attacks rather than dodge it, because then I could get more hits on them and the fight would be over quickly. And you'll want to tank your way through them, because Seven Sirens is a game that's so charming and witty that you'll want to see the next gloriously beautiful cutscene. While the story is a fairly standard hero's adventure, the characters are a delight to interact with, whether they're your companions, the other half-genies, or just general NPCs. Conversations routinely brought a smile to my face thanks to the sharp sense of humour you find throughout Seven Sirens. And from end to end, the game is absolutely gorgeous to look at. Shantae and the Seven Sirens is a fun adventure that's well worth taking. It's got all the familiar trappings of the platforming Metroidvania, rewarding you for exploring and re-exploring its world each time you acquire a new ability. While the combat is fairly pedestrian and boss fights are a bit pants, I was eager to keep pushing forward through the game thanks to its humour, charm, and incredibly likeable cast. Thanks very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it or found it useful, consider sticking around here at Words About Games. Our content includes review impressions of games big and small, a weekly podcast dedicated to discussing the happenings in and around the games industry, weekly opinion videos, reactions, debate-driven top 5 and top 10 lists, a regular Hall of Fame series where we discuss our favourite games, and indie game spotlights. We also stream every Friday and Saturday at twitch.tv/wordsaboutgames. Most importantly, have a brilliant day.